So let's dive into a kind of modern parable, shall we? It's a story about the violent shattering of old values and maybe the birth of a new and, let's be honest, kind of terrifying power. This is the story of the Great Desanctification.
And right away, our story throws two incredible figures at us, the Harlequin and Brynhildr. I mean, they're not just showing up for a visit. The source material calls them a living poison to the old world, a force of change so radical that their very breath is an attack on the way things are.
So where are they headed? To the marketplace temple. But you've got to understand, this isn't some place of vibrant living faith. No, the picture we get is one of stagnation, of stale air and spiritual rot. It's a sanctuary that's really become a tomb.
Now, this is what's so fascinating about how this whole thing kicks off. It's not a physical attack. It's not a war. It's psychological. It's spiritual. It's the Harlequin's laughter that starts it all. A sound so alive that it literally begins to vibrate the walls and crack the holy icons of a tired, life-denying God. So what is their goal here? What are they trying to do? The text calls it the revaluation of the sacred. They're here to rip the mask off a fundamental lie, that this temple is basically a theater of guilt, a place that siphons the life force out of people in exchange for some hollow promise of a reward after you're dead. It's such a powerful image, right? The Harlequin's bright, messy colors staining the pure white stone. It's life itself exposing how empty those sterile ideals really are.
As they push deeper towards the altar, this gets even more intense. See, they're not just challenging the priests anymore. They're confronting the actual machinery of control that has kept this world stuck in place for so long.
The first piece of this machinery they run into is wild. It's called the spirit of gravity's loom. Try to picture a giant spiritual machine whose only job is to grind down your individuality, what you might call the anima and animus, the feminine and masculine parts of the soul, and weave it all into one flat, gray, obedient carpet. It's just an incredible metaphor for forced conformity.
And what's powering this whole operation? Well, at the very heart of it all sits the pale cynic's white lantern. Now, this isn't a light of hope or truth. Oh no. This is a light that bleaches all the color, all the passion, all the real belief out of everything it touches, turning it all into a meaningless, indifferent pile of ash. It's basically the altar of nihilism.
And this is where we get a direct confrontation. Brynhildr, our warrior, steps up. But she doesn't attack with a physical weapon. Instead, she unleashes her own vital energy, her Valkyrie light, and blasts it right at the lantern's emptiness. And in that incredible clash of energies, all the hidden gears of oppression are suddenly laid bare for everyone to see.
So how does the old system fight back when it's been exposed? The priests, who are now described as nothing more than silver ghosts, they reach for their final weapon. And guess what it is? It's not damnation. It's not threats. It's pity. They try to wrap the Harlequin in chains of guilt, the very tool their entire system is built on. But he just laughs at them, showing everyone that their so-called piety is just a fear of the body and a hatred for the real world.
This is it. This is the moment everything changes. We're at the breaking point. All that spiritual and psychological tension, it's about to erupt into a single physical act that's going to bring the whole house of cards down. This is the point of no return.
Brynhildr takes one decisive action. She strikes the altar, the very heart of the temple's power. Not with the sharp end of her spear, but with the blunt base. It's an act of pure negation, a solid earthly force slamming against a hollow, abstract ideal.
The white lantern goes out, and for one fleeting, absolutely terrifying moment, there's just total darkness. That bleaching light of cynicism is gone, and everything is just plunged into this primordial void.
And in that darkness, something incredible happens. The followers, they have this horrifying realization. See, without the temple's light to distract them, they see themselves reflected in the emptiness, and they finally understand that the temple was never their sanctuary. It was a mirror, showing them their own cowardice, their own failure to embrace who they could truly be. So, the old world is in ruins. It's been completely shattered. But, destruction is never the end of the story in tales like this. From these ruins, something new is about to be declared. A whole new set of values. The Harlequin doesn't just smash the old symbol of power. He becomes the new one. He literally climbs onto the altar, and his own integrated self, the red and blue, the chaos and the order, becomes the new source of light.
The divine is no longer some external, faraway thing. It's inside you. And this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. Let's break down the contrast. The old temple, a theater of guilt, fear of the body, cashing in on promises for the afterlife. But the new temple's values, they're totally different. The sacred place is your own body. The driving force is the will to power, that drive to become your greatest self. And the real holy act is integrating your own darkness, your shadow, not pretending it doesn't exist. And the Harlequin doesn't leave it up to interpretation. He spells it out right there from the altar. The new temple, that's your own body. The only God, your own will. The true sacrament, embracing your whole self, darkness and all. And that figure of the integrated jester, that's what true sovereignty looks like.
And just like that, it's done. The de-sanctification is complete. The entire power structure has been flipped on its head. The priests who used to be the gatekeepers of reality are now just beggars, surrounded by the shattered reflections of their own failed system. But hold on. Their work inside the temple might be done, but this story is far from over. They've destroyed one prison, sure, but the larger war is just getting started. As if to put one final exclamation point on the whole affair, the Harlequin lets out one last, booming laugh. It's a laugh of pure victory, of total liberation, and it's so powerful it shatters the very last bits of the old world's fragile beauty, the stained glass windows. Nothing is left intact. And then they leave. They step out of what is no longer a temple, but a tomb. And their path forward, it isn't lit by some holy external light anymore. It's lit by the smoldering embers of the world they just tore down. They're carrying their own light now. And this is where we're left, with this final, really provocative question. They won the battle. They escaped the tomb of the temple. But that spirit of gravity, that relentless force of conformity and control, it's not gone. It's just waiting outside, in the marketplace, weaving new and maybe even more clever traps. The war for reality itself, well, it looks like it has only just begun.